The opinions expressed are those of the host. The material is for informational purposes only. It does not constitute investment advice, and it is not intended as an endorsement for any specific investment. Visit crestmontpw.com for more details.
Welcome to the Ascent. This is Sam McGee with Crestmont Private Wealth, and today we're going to be talking about struggles of a business owner and what to do about it. So one of those things that doesn't get talked about, you see all these businesses that are, everywhere. Tons of small businesses all over Boerne, Texas, Houston, Texas, every city in America. It is really the lifeblood, in my opinion, of economic activity. Obviously, there's large corporate. There's a place for that. There's boutiques. Small business can be one of the toughest things to do. And I came across this book, and this is not an endorsement of the book, but I came across this book about a year and a half ago when I was out at a conference, and the particular individual I was talking to had been very successful. He had grown a firm like mine from something like, $100 million in total client assets to $3 billion. And I'm sitting next to this gentleman, and he says, "Yeah, you sound like you really ought to, check out this book. We went through it as a team and as a management team, and it really, really helped us out." And so I'm going to be talking about the concepts from this book today, and not necessarily, it's not an endorsement. If you want to go buy it, go buy it. I don't receive any compensation from mentioning this. It is simply something that has really helped me as a business owner, and something I've referenced a lot with our business owner clients. At Crestmont Private Wealth, we work with a variety of individuals, those that own small businesses, that are executives at large corporations, that are retired, those that are on the trailhead, the ascent, and the summit, the different 3 life stages as you get going in your financial life. We work with folks, individuals, families that really value our advice and want a fiduciary wealth advisor that's comprehensive in nature. So today we're talking about something very specific. We're talking about business ownership and the wealth management associated with it, and what you can be doing to create a system for yourself to make your life a little easier and your business a little more valuable. So the book we're talking about today is Traction by Gino Wickman, and it's divided into 10 chapters. And I'm not going to go through every single one of these today, but I am going to talk about the concepts because I think they're very, very important. One of the very first things that this book talks about is the importance of establishing core values first. And if you're a business owner and you're listening to this and you had a really good idea and you went out and you formulated a website and you had a profit idea and you moved forward, and you didn't really spend a lot of time on your core values, really being honest with yourself about what you stand for, your fabric, what you want the company to stand for, that is a big mistake. Stop what you're doing, go back, revisit what your true core values are and how you want those embodied in your business enterprise. Here's why. Core values should be used to recruit, hire, fire, promote, and coach and train every single person in your organization. From the bookkeeper to the salesperson to anyone that works in your organization. And they should be proudly displayed, well understood, and part of your handbook as well as your culture. So as we talk about core values, it's also important to let those be known by your customers. Because if your customers or your clients understand what your core values are, they're not going to be upset or surprised when they see you doing things, as an example, working in the community as a volunteer at times. Not excessively, obviously, but doing those sort of things, if they're a part of your core values and the client or customer, when they signed up to be a client or customer of your company, they see that, they are making an active choice, an active economic choice to choose goods or services from you, sometimes based off your core values. And I think you may be surprised, some of you, how important that may be to your clients or customers. So make sure that those are proudly displayed inside, outside your organization, and that you're really clear on them. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the people component. And I love this chapter in the book because it's kind of a mix of an old book that many of you may know, one by Jim Collins called Good to Great. It's a red hardback or paperback book you can buy almost anywhere. And in the book Good to Great, there's a big chapter in there about having the right people on the bus. The bus is your company. So think about your bus having a destination going somewhere. That's your vision. That's your mission. That's where you want to go. And ultimately, you need to have the right people on the bus. That starts with core values. So right people is completely measured by core values, in my opinion. It's not skills. Skills can be learned. Skills can be forgotten. Skills can be trained. They can be sharpened. They can get dull. Having the right people on the bus is about having people that embody your core values and really closely, carefully inspect that before you hire anyone. Because once you've hired someone and you discover later that they don't really truly align with your core values, you have a big problem. It's going to be a big source of conflict. It's going to be an issue if, say, for example, work ethic is a big part of your core values and there's an emergency and you have an employee that decides, you know what, I'm not going to show up for that emergency. That's a problem, okay? So I'm not going to belabor that topic. Let's first talk about right people on the bus, where you're headed. Now, let's talk about right seats. So the right seats are the roles that you have in your organization. And if you think about this, there's multiple seats. I mean, I'm sitting here in a seat. I'm kind of a quasi-entertainer client here at Boerne Radio. Lexi has a seat. Lexi actually has a few seats. I'm going to use her as an example. Right now, she's over this kind of keyboard-looking thing. I don't even know what it is. And she's turning up the volume as we speak, so I'm getting away from the microphone. And then she's hitting edit buttons. And then she's guiding me, and she's got a stopwatch going, and she's telling me when to hurry up or slow down. And she does a great job in that seat, a really great job in that seat. She's in the right seat. Friendly, embodies Boerne's core values. But let's say that I asked Lexi right now to go calculate the net present value of a series of cash flows that are unequal over 40 years. Lexi, how would you feel about that?
I would jump on Google real quick.
Yeah, or maybe use AI.
Panic.
Yeah, like, hey, ChatGPT, please tell me. And maybe you can fake it, right, for a little bit.
Right.
So, again, we get back to right person, then get them in the right seat. And that's really critical. So identifying your organizational chart, making sure that you're planning not only for the today, but making decisions on people for your tomorrow. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Don't be in a reactionary mode. Be in a place where you are being intentional about hiring the right person first, identifying the right seat and the right need for your business, get them in it, give them the tools to thrive, and let them go. Give them the support they need and go. Now, this leads to the next big topic within this book on this chapter in the people component, and it's about unique abilities. And I really love what the writer did here because I think that God really does give everyone a unique ability. I don't think there's a person on this planet that doesn't have a unique ability. And it's really important that in an organization, you have right person, right seat. If it is the right seat, that will unlock their unique abilities. So, for example, I love being on podcasts. This is fun for me. I enjoy this. But if I were to go get somebody maybe out of an accounting department who is very analytical, and I said, hey, guess what? I promoted you. I'm going to put you in the podcast seat. Well, is that really going to unlock their unique abilities? Of course not. It's wrong seat, might be the right person, but at the end of the day, their unique abilities are really taking care of the books, making sure that they're looking over all the numbers and have a high degree of attention to detail. That is their unique ability. That's where they should be. So let's ask this question. Can a seat change, or can a person outgrow a seat or lose a seat? Absolutely. That is your job as a business owner or a business manager or a executive vice president or a CEO of a corporation to really understand that. And that's where effective leadership can really happen, is by identifying, first, you have the right people. Number two, are they in the right seats? Are they unlocking their unique abilities? And if they are the same person they were 20 years ago and they didn't grow with the corporation and grow with the seat, that means the seat has outgrown them. The role has outgrown them. It could be that the company hasn't changed and that person has changed and they may need to leave, and that's okay. So why am I talking about this? This is a wealth management show. Why would this be so important? Well, think about it. There are a massive number of small businesses in this country that are run by entrepreneurs, or small businesses run by entrepreneurs that led to a private equity buyout, that led to a corporation, that led to something else. They all start from a set of principles. And in wealth management, at the end of the day, if you're trying to center your focus, your time, your energy on your business enterprise or your career in managing people, then these are the sort of concepts that can help you grow your wealth. Because there's an old adage, I can go quick alone, or we can go far together. The sooner that companies can embrace these concepts, I think the sooner that they can have managers that, quote unquote, from the book, let go of the vine. I'm going to continue on this episode in another week on that exact topic, and probably even use a couple personal anecdotes about letting go of the vine and what that really looks like. Today, what we've talked about is a couple chapters of the book Traction, which is by Gino Wickman. Fantastic book. Again, not an endorsement. I've just really enjoyed it. And at Crestmont Private Wealth, we actually went through chapter 1 all the way through the people component. We established our core values together under my leadership, because at the end of the day, I've got the black bean and I want to be sure what we're doing is embodying what's important to me, but there was input and then it's embraced. And we did this as a team. There's actually companies out there that do traction consulting. But I would encourage the listeners to go out there and maybe grab the book from the library. How about that? If this is something you've enjoyed, check it out. It's fantastic. And I love talking about it because it's helped me transform our business at Crestmont Private Wealth. We are very core values centric. We really enjoy working with the high net worth and the affluent. Typically, we work with clients that have a $500,000 portfolio all the way up to about $20 million in total assets. And we love providing fiduciary advice to those families. Some of those families are small business owners. If you happen to be one of them and you've enjoyed this program and you want to learn a little bit more about how I've applied this in my business and talk about your personal financial situation, we would love to sit down and have an opportunity to talk with you. You can reach me at info@crestmontpw.com. Sam McGee, CEO and owner of Crestmont Private Wealth. You're in Boerne, Texas and Houston, Texas. God bless. Have a great day.